Previously on the Kajai Stokes Road to Glory, we've got quite the decision to make here. 3 schools, 3 entirely different situations that we're deciding between. We've got LSU, the big school, the powerhouse. We may not get to play right away, but once we do, we'll be facing off against some of the best players in the country in one of, if not the very best environments. There's Tulane, one of the top group of 5 teams who we can look to potentially make playoff runs with and look to shock the national audience. And then there's Georgia State, a school that's a 1-star prestige, one of the lowest ranked programs in the game, whose entire identity we can potentially look to flip. I mean, all 3 of these have a very compelling case for us. Could we pick Georgia Southern? Stay at home? Yeah, I don't think so. Now we're down to 2. We're going to Louisiana, but the question is, where? Do we want LSU or do we want Tulane? 2 very intriguing choices, 2 winning programs who win in a lot of different ways given the competition level. I mean, LSU's tempting. I don't know. Maybe we'll come back to them. What about the Green Wave? That would be pretty cool. In the American Athletic Conference, I think that's what we're doing. We're going to Tulane University. The comments in the last episode overwhelmingly wanted us to pick Tulane, so that is where Kajai Stokes will be starting his collegiate career. We will look to compete for playoff spots in the group of 5 in the American Athletic Conference with some of the coolest uniforms in the country. A team that I almost picked last year for Dynasty mode before rocking with the Jayhawks. You find yourself in a starting role with Tulane. What are you looking forward to? I'm looking at getting forward on the field, being with the team, being one of the guys, and hopefully being able to lead this team to some wins. We're going to be on the field right away. We do not have to compete for our spot whatsoever, and hopefully we'll be quite successful in doing so. We're talking to our coach how we're supposed to use our energy points, and we're going to give a confident answer. K, can't wait to show you what I can do. Am I the only person who thinks typing out the letter K instead of OK is like, I don't know, passive-aggressive? I always judge people when they respond with just the letter K. Maybe it's just a me thing. I don't know. Anyway, we're at 78 overall. We've got 63 skill points to spend. I'm not going to use all of them right now, though. I feel like that'd be kind of cheating. I wanted to see how high we could get with all of those points, and it brought us up to like an 88 overall. I feel like that kind of defeats the purpose of getting better and continuing to improve. So we're going to use them as the year goes along. If we play well, we'll get to use some points. I think that's ultimately going to be the plan. So we're going to start off as a 78 overall and then work our way up throughout the season. We're going to have to figure out what we want to get better with because obviously we have important skills here, run stopping, pass coverage, even rushing the passer. But we can also make ourselves faster and stronger and twitchier and more agile. Hey, Kajai, I'll be your academic advisor. How are you going to be my academic advisor when you can't even spell the word advisor correctly? This is supposed to be like a smart professor. No, I'm not going to give you a polite answer because I don't think you're very good at your job. You misspelled your job position in the opening sentence of your introduction. That's a problem.
You stupid. What?
We've got Duke here to start the season with Darian Mensah, the former Tulane quarterback, which is a really interesting storyline. Now, this Tulane team has added some big names through the portal. Caden Samanza at quarterback. We've got Ashton Stamps from LSU, Dante Dowdell from Kentucky. Jay Haynes will be his backup. We also added DJ Pickett, a 5-star sophomore. We loaded up in the portal, and this team, I think, could be really, really good. So I think I'm really joining a good squad with no shortage of talent. You've got an NFL duo at corner with 2 former LSU Tigers. We've got an NFL duo in the backfield at running back and a quarterback in Caden Samanza, who's a multi-year starter at Ball State and clearly has played well enough to transfer up to Tulane. So we're going to be on the field here in the first quarter. I do want to point out that this game against Duke was recorded before the patch earlier today. Darian Mensah scrambles, running for the first down. Mensah with a big play past the 50. I see the offense already has some early points, so we're already ahead 7-0. That's a promising start. Mensah under pressure. Ball's out! Pick up the ball! Let's go! Let's keep it moving! Kajai collegiate career. A defensive touchdown on one of his first plays ever. And Tulane leads it 14-0 against a very strong Duke team who made the playoff last year and has some really good pieces on both sides of the ball. Wow, what a play. That is clearly a fumble. No need for a review. A scoop and score already for KJ. Duke's got to respond. They would get a touchdown there. Our coach trust is not too high, even though we just happened to score. Seems a little bit silly. Luckily, this will be the only game where this coach trust glitch is a problem. Up the middle, Stokes still looking for his first tackle. Thought maybe they would give him one there, but they're not going to. Stokes has been on the field sparingly, I would say, in his debut, as we're nearing an F grade. I don't know why. It's not like we've made any specifically bad plays, as Duke only has 9 seconds left. Got to imagine they're going to look to score before the end of the half, and sure enough, they would tackle on 3, making it 14-10. That'll bring us into the second half. Outside of the scoop and score touchdown, we have not made any plays yet in our debut. Looking to change that. Bad coverage by our teammates. That's not on me. That was some pathetic man coverage. Duke, who was down by 14, only down by 1 scores. We would add a field goal, making it 17-10 now into the fourth quarter. Pitch to the running back, and we are going to get a play there. Finally, our first assisted tackle. Took us 3 quarters. Better late than ever. Now a third down for the Blue Devils. Mensa looks to throw it, and it's broken up. Great play and coverage. Our defense looks strong so far. These new corners are playing well. Duke would tie it and eventually take the lead, but we would tack on a late field goal to bring the game into overtime. Gotta say, this is a strong debut for our team in overtime on the road against one of the better teams in the country. Mensa scrambles around. Stokes gets thrown to his back. They're going to give us credit for the tackle, but, we just got ran over. That is not a good look. We would not find the field the rest of the way as Duke wins it with a game-winning 2-point conversion in double overtime, 35-33, and the Green Wave start their season 0-1. Not ideal. We made a couple of nice plays, had a pair of tackles, and, of course, the scoop and score touchdown, but otherwise did not have a great debut, and our coach does not seem to be all that happy with us. Our play count has decreased. Look, I'm going to be honest, the coaching staff has not been particularly enthused with you lately. If we continue to struggle, we're going to see less and less playing time and might even get benched. As that brings us to our home opener against South Alabama, we get to run out to the Tulane crowd here in New Orleans for the very first time, which is pretty exciting. Our team needs to bounce back and get a win because in the group of 5, if you want to make the playoff, there's not much of a margin for error. 1 loss might be all we can afford. So we've got to be nearly perfect the rest of the way, and we're getting some early tackles in, a couple here in the first minute of the game, clearly showing an improvement from last week as our teammate Jordan Norman gets the sack on third down. The offense has not given us a whole lot yet, but the coach trust grade seems to be a little bit better. We've got a big man interception! One of the defensive linemen picks it off, and Tulane will get the ball back. We would ultimately capitalize off the interception, scoring a touchdown, making it 7-0. As we miss another tackle, we read the play correctly, and they'll give us credit, but the running back was able to break away. Clearly, KJ needs to work on his tackling. It was not an issue in high school, but this is Division I FBS football. There you go. That's a nice hit on the quarterback, who does still get the first down, though. Overall, Stokes has been awfully active, though, in this first half. Boom! We read the play perfectly in the backfield. Winston Malone loses yardage on the run. A big hit by Kajai Stokes, showing off his ability in run defense. There's a reason why he was a 4-star. Under pressure, another sack for the Tulane defense. We've got some boys going after the quarterback as it's now 14-0 here in the first half. QB looks to throw it, dances around, got the first down. Another tackle for Kajai Stokes. I think he has 6 total now here still in the first half. Certainly a noticeable improvement from last week, and we're seeing the coach trust grade go up as a result. On third down, good throw, leads to a first down. Receiver breaks the tackle, and he gets it near the 20-yard line. Good throw by Drew Pine, the veteran starter who's been around the block. That one could have been intercepted. We almost had a chance to make a play on that ball. Unfortunately, not quite able to. Defense does hold, though, in the red zone. South Alabama has to settle for a field goal. It's now 21-3. Read the screen perfectly, but we missed the tackle again. Not great. Still clearly an area of weakness. To the tight end. This time we flatten him to the ground. What a hit by KJ. Team clearly has come out strong after a tough loss last week. Deep shot here on first down, and it's caught wide open into the end zone. That was not good coverage from the secondary. Could it help South Alabama get back into the game as they now find themselves only down by 2 scores? The end of the fourth quarter, 21-10. Pine looks to throw it, sails it up again, and it is caught again! All the way to the 15-yard line, looking to punch it in. They're not getting anything there on third down. Stokes among the defenders with the tackle. The Jaguars have a decision to make here on 4th and inches, and it looks like they are going to settle for the field goal. They make it a 1-score game, but we would end up with a touchdown. Not ideal for South Alabama, who's now down 28-13 with just 2 minutes to go here in this second game of the year. Stokes nearly gets another big hit, but the tight end breaks away for the first down under 2 minutes to go. 3rd and 1. Stokes helping with the pressure. As Drew Pine is incomplete, it'll come down to a 4th and 1. Game is essentially on the line for South Alabama. Even though they've got all 3 timeouts, it's pretty clear they've got to get a first down here. Tulane looking for win number 1 on the season. Stokes looking for the first one of his career. Pine dances around. His pass is incomplete. And that should do it. The Tulane Green Wave with their first win of the season, 28-13 over South Alabama. Wasn't necessarily a perfect win, but we'll take it, especially after a loss last week against Duke. Stokes looked quite solid out there. He finished with 8 tackles and a TFL, finishing second on the team. We're doing a team-wide community service event with some local kids under 12.
Ball up to himself. How about the spin to yourself? I thought I was seeing things.
What am I going to do? Say no to the kids? So obviously I'm going to say yes. Since we got the win, we'll use some of our skill points. I think we're going to focus on run stopping and pass rush. We got active around the line of scrimmage, and I want to continue to improve in stopping the run and being effective as a blitzer. Game 3 sees us on the road in Manhattan against Kansas State. You guys know I want to win this game. So hopefully we can get the job done against the Wildcats. Another power conference opponent. I give Tulane a lot of credit for not scheduling these easy teams, but rather giving themselves a challenge. Up the middle, big catch, big hit. Stokes finishes off the play with a boom. I think within the run-stopping skill archetype thing is tackling, which is necessary because he needs to get better there. A lot of pressure. Stokes amongst the guys in the backfield. He did not touch the quarterback. Avery Johnson's gone. He left in the portal. They have a true freshman starting as we completely miss the tackle and go flying. Okay, then. Into the second quarter. Boom! What a hit! Oh, my goodness. He went flying. Kajai Stokes put the quarterback on his back, annihilating him, laying the boom. Wow, what a hit. Looking to throw it here. We're trying to bait him into throwing it to the running back, but he doesn't even get it off. Teammate is there with the sack. I've noticed that our defensive line is really, really good. These guys are sending so much pressure throughout the game as they're there with another tackle, leading 7-0. Defense is playing outstanding against this Kansas State offense, and we're making a lot of plays in the run game, which is exactly what I had hoped. Missed the tackle angle that time, and Kansas State takes advantage as they ultimately score a touchdown the following play. Lloyd Avant with the score for the Wildcats, and we are knotted up late in the first half. It looks like we've got ourselves a good one. I think we must have turned the ball over because they got it right back, but then we would force a turnover with a strip sack and a fumble. So both teams trade takeaways to end the first half. We would start with the ball in the second half, tack on 3, making it 10-7. Looking to throw it, under pressure, looking deep, and it is caught! How did he catch that? The tight end mosses the 2 DBs. I don't know how he pulled that one off. Now at the 1, looking to punch it in. Superman dives into the end zone for a touchdown, and Kansas State for the first time in this game, takes the lead 14-10. So the Wildcats have it back up the middle, breaking the tackle. We would help finish off the play, but still got to do a better job overall with the tackling. Down 14-10 into the fourth, got some work to do. Quarterback has all day to throw it, and eventually is brought down. The coverage did an outstanding job there, not letting him get anyone open. As we look at a 3rd and 13 with under 6 minutes to go. Again, under pressure, and again is sacked. That's 7 for our team today. It's Rogers who brings him down. These boys are balling. The offense would score a touchdown, so we now lead 17-14 with 4 minutes to go. We're going to get one more stop for good. There's sack number 8. I mean, what else is there to say? These pass rushers are unbelievable. 3rd and 4, under more pressure. He will get the first down. Good scramble to keep the drive going. They ended up taking us out the rest of the game. Don't know why, but we ended up getting the win. 17-14 as we improve to 2-1. A Power 5 win on the road. We'll gladly take that. I thought Stokes did some good things. Maybe not as impressive as last week, but we had 5 tackles and a TFL. The pass rush was great. 2.5 for Derek Shepard, 2 for Chris Rogers. As we get an NIL offer with Restore Med Spa, and we can bring a teammate. Chris Rogers just had 2 sacks off the edge, so that feels like an easy choice. He's a guy who's clearly playing quite well so far this year. So us and Rogers both end up getting the NIL deal. We have one of our first big tests coming up, and I think after being incorrectly rude to our advisor earlier, we're going to show her that we're a good student. So we're going to come in a few times, and apparently we ended up crushing it. I felt like giving it 2 energy points would be perfect, because that way we would score well on the test, but we didn't have to go all out per se. We're going to that homecoming block party later. Most of the team will be there. Well, I guess in that case, I'm going to be there because I have the feeling it will up our leadership thing, and clearly I was right, so that was a good decision. Fan favorite has been activated, so it seems like as our coach trust goes up and as we continue to play well, we'll continue to be rewarded as we have a rivalry game upcoming against Southern Miss, which is pretty exciting. Continuing to use our points, I think we're doing well in terms of our branding, especially for a sort of unknown freshman, at least unknown nationally. I think we're going to use some points into quickness, make ourselves a little bit more athletic. There were a couple plays in that Kansas State game where I felt like we just weren't necessarily changing directions quick enough, and I think a boost to athleticism would probably go a long way as we enter our 4th game of the season. We'll see what Southern Miss can do. They're currently 2-2. That could have been an interception. I think we were just a second too early breaking on the ball. And the Golden Eagles would end up getting the first down. Under pressure, trying to help with the blitz. That is a huge loss of yardage. 13 on the sack. We were not there with the sack, but we helped out with the pressure. No score into the second quarter. Southern Miss moving down the field pretty nicely. Quarterback looks to scramble. Yeah, he wants nothing to do with me. And I don't blame him. We were kind of going for his head. That looked like a dirty play. 2nd and goal. It's intercepted! DJ Pickett with the pick. We're going to help give him a block. Down the field. No one's going to catch him. 100 yards to the crib for the former 5-star DJ Pickett. And the first points of the game, fittingly, come from the defense as it's 7-0. We're not getting a lot out of the offense, and they ended up taking us out of the game for a while. Don't know why. The only points from either team still is the pick 6, and we're now into the second half. We'll see if Southern Miss can get anything going offensively. We haven't really made a lot of plays yet. Finally, they're helping out with a tackle. I mean, I guess it's partially because we sat out for like the entire second quarter. But now we're really starting to get involved in run defense as we get another hit. It's now 14-0, offense playing a little bit better. And there we are again, continuing to get active in the run game. I picked the lurker archetype. I wanted to be good in coverage, but I feel like we're doing better as a run defender and as a blitzer. We read the option perfectly and stop the play immediately. Huge loss. And now it's a 4th and 10 here in the fourth quarter. They feel like they got to go for it, and they will not get it. It's only a gain of 7 or 8. Defense gets to stop, and we would finish it off with a shutout. Tulane gets the job done. The offense struggled in the first half. Our only touchdown in the first half was by the defense. Offense ended up playing a little bit better down the stretch to help us win the game 24-0. 4 tackles, 1 for a loss for KJ. I think we're going to put some more points into power. I want to get that hit power up because we've had a number of hit sticks so far as we now get set for game number 5 on the season with a record of 3-1, returning home our first in-conference matchup of the year against Charlotte. There's a nice tackle. Unfortunately, they got the first down. I'm surprised the stadium isn't full for being in a big city and being one of the better group of 5 teams. Okay, maybe that's why we completely missed the tackle. Yeah, I wouldn't want to see that either. That was disgusting. But anyway, I'm surprised there are not more people in the building. This is a Tulane team who is as good of a chance as any group of 5 team to make the playoff. Another bad play. I know we got the tackle there, but not ideal. Here they go. Broken tackle again. We are making the right reads. We're doing a good job of blowing up these plays, but we're not doing a good job of finishing them. So clearly some good flashes, but a lot of work that has to be done. 7-3 now into the second. Great play here in run defense, diagnosing it immediately and having no issues bringing down the running back. Stokes has been super active in this game. We've got at least 4, maybe 5 tackles at this point. Here at the 2-minute warning, up 14-3. Quarterback launches a deep shot, and it's caught! The safeties get cooked over the top into the end zone for a touchdown. It's Nicholas. And Charlotte makes it 14-10. Late in the first half, up the middle on the slant. Stokes helps finish off the play with the corner. Charlotte looking to potentially take the lead before half as it's a 3rd and 2 with 40 seconds left. They're going to run the ball. Stokes sees it coming. He is there helping with the tackle, but unfortunately, they do get the first down. Thing is, though, they're not really trying to move. This is going to be the final play of the half after chewing a lot of clock as the defense is there with another sack on the 49er quarterback. And that'll wrap up the first half. Charlotte's not making it easy so far for us as Tulane leads it 14-10 in our first American Athletic Conference game of the season. That'll bring us into the second half. Stokes playing quite well so far. 4 assisted tackles, multiple solo tackles, few TFLs, and the rest of the guys getting involved as well as it's now 21-10. Our defensive line, our front 7, really the defense as a whole is really, really good. I love playing with these guys as we're there to help with another 3rd down stop, and that'll lead to another punt. 21 points might be enough with the guys we have on this side of the field as Charlotte's going to go for it on 4th down, and they do get it. So the 49ers convert with the first down. Still a lot of work to do, but they are in the red zone with a chance of making it a 1-score game. Under 6 minutes to go. That one is caught. Broken tackle. Stokes helps finish off the play yet again. But Charlotte is getting very close. The running back powers his way in, and the 49ers are a 2-point conversion away from cutting the deficit to just 3. On the 2-point try, defense is there with the sack. So ultimately, the lead stays at 5. At least we get some kind of good ending defensively. And now we need a big drive here out of the offense to look to push down the field, make it a 2-score game, and our drive would stall very quickly. So now it's up to the defense. 21-16, 4 to go, up the middle, nice catch. Stokes helps with the tackle, and it is not a first down. Now looking at a 3rd and 2, up the middle, caught for a first down. Stokes there again. That's 8 assisted tackles on the game. Deep down the field, it is caught! I like our secondary. We've got some good corners, but these guys do not know how to track the deep ball. This is starting to become a little bit of a problem. Now it's a 1st and goal. Minute 35 left to go. Tight end, that's my guy. Oh, no, he caught it! Kajai Stokes allows what could be the go-ahead touchdown. Charlotte takes the lead. House puts it in the house for a house call. And it's 22-21 as they are now going to go for 2 and look to make it a 3-point game. I can't help but feel like that touchdown is my responsibility, so I owe it here on the 2-point conversion and make a big play with the TFL. Our offense has got to give us something here. We cannot afford to lose our first in-conference game of the year, and we don't score. Charlotte gets it back, looking to finish the job off for good here with 30 seconds to go. It's going to be an RPO, and the 49ers get the first down, and that is going to likely do it. This is not a game that we could afford to lose. As I mentioned earlier, there's pretty much no margin for error as a group of 5 team to make the playoff. After that Duke loss, I felt like we had to win out. Not only do we lose this game to give us our 2nd loss of the year, but we start 0-1 in the conference, and by allowing the game-winning touchdown, I feel like it's largely my fault. I had a good game, only 2 solo tackles, but we had 8 total, not to mention the one on the 2-point conversion as well for a loss. I feel like I had a good game, but it doesn't really matter. Allowing the game-winning touchdown on that play, clearly not a good coverage rep. I was behind the tight end, tried to hit him as he got the ball, and ultimately missed it. So now we've really got a lot of work to do, and we've got a tough matchup upcoming against the Memphis Tigers as we now are getting closer and closer to the halfway point of the season. 3-2, 0-1 in conference. Memphis looks like one of the better teams in the American Athletic Conference, so because of that, this is not a team we want to fall behind. We've certainly got to perform well and hopefully win this game to try to improve our record. If we have any margin of error left, it's officially gone, I think, at this point, as we allow the catch, but quickly are there with the tackle. On second down, up the middle, Stokes with another nice tackle. It does go for a first down, but a good play there in run defense. Now on third down, looking to throw it. Going deep down the field, this pass is caught! DJ Pickett's got to make a better play on the ball. Now, lucky for us, not only did the Memphis drive stall, but we end up scoring, taking the lead 7-0. Boom! What a hit! Running back goes flying. As soon as he threw the ball, I knew exactly what we had to do there. Oh my goodness, what a hit by KJ. That was a murder. That man had a family. Not anymore, he doesn't, because he's probably not alive. Stokes helps finish off the tackle there. Defense giving us another really good game as we line up in the slot with the receiver. Short pass, short catch, another hit for Kajai Stokes. It's now 14-0. We're playing real well right now. Memphis has it near their own end zone, trying to send some pressure. Quarterback throws it up, and it's caught! Another deep ball. DJ Pickett has allowed way too many big plays. Problem for Memphis is there's a penalty. It's a holding, and if we accept the penalty, it's a safety. So we'll take the 2 points at 16-0. How about that? Just 30 seconds left. There's another nice tackle. They will give Memphis the first down. Tigers going hurry up. They kind of know they're not going to win this game, but are trying to avoid the embarrassment of the shutout, so they figure, let's go deep. And I don't think so, buddy. It's intercepted. I feel like every deep shot is caught. It's either picked off or it's caught by the receiver, and there's no in between. 19-0, a shutout win. Our standout defense continues to perform at a very high level, and even though the offense has been kind of mediocre, it's not going to matter. These guys on defense have been unbelievably good all year, and that continues today with 6 tackles for Stokes and another TFL. Your midterm results are in. All C's. I studied kind of hard. How did we only get C's? That is disappointing. I guess Kajai Stokes is not clutch. He might be clutch in the game, but he's not a clutch test taker. We're not quite putting the student in student athlete at the moment as we get set for this matchup against the solid North Texas team. They're early with the TFL. We're only 1-1 in conference. We've got to continue to win pretty much all of these games here on the remainder of the schedule as the Mean Green find themselves with a 2nd and 10, rocking some cool alternate uniform. Actually, both teams are. As it's tipped and intercepted. Another big man takeaway. These boys on the defensive line are doing it all. They're getting sacks, they're forcing fumbles, they're even getting picks. We would score a touchdown off of it, making it 7-0. There's a nice play on the scramble by Blaze Berlowitz. He wanted nothing to do with us headhunting. Stokes with a hit on the quarterback going deep, and it's picked off. The pressure helps lead to the interception, or of course, I would like to think so. Good play there by the safety, but I don't think he makes that throw without me coming right in his face. So that'll make it 10-0. We have not allowed points now in nearly 3 consecutive halves. The defense just playing out of their minds as we go into the second half. Still 10-0. Trying to make a play here on the blitz. We win the rep against the offensive lineman, but the receiver is wide open down the field. I'm noticing that Stokes is actually doing pretty well when matched up with these offensive linemen. So I think there could be something there potentially as a hybrid edge rusher type of linebacker, along with obviously playing in the middle. Really good throw, though, leading to a touchdown. Finally, some points by the other team. It's been a while. Now, we would continue to add to our lead after that. It's 19-7 with a couple minutes to go in the third. Trying to get our way into the backfield. There we are, helping with the tackle on the run play. 5 assisted tackles in this game. How about another one? Oh, I guess we're just going to get the solo tackle. Or maybe not. No, they're going to give it to somebody else, which is weird because I was the only guy there. Minute left to go in the third. Fourth down. Nice conversion. Interesting decision to go for it there in the third. I respect the ballsiness, and obviously it paid off. I mean, they got it. Into the fourth now on the blitz. Untouched! First career sack for Kajai Stokes, who's able to find the open hole and spring through it to bring down the quarterback. Let's look at this beauty again. First career sack for Kajai Stokes. We've had a couple of close ones, but have been unable to finish off these plays until right there. Fourth down and very long. They have no choice but to go for it, as it looks like he's just going to dump it off short. And there's actually kind of a lot of room for this running back, but he is not going to get the first down. So the Tulane offense gets the stop. We're in a good position, up by 12. With the ball, we would score another touchdown when we would take off 3 minutes of clock, and it's a 3-score game. The Green Wave clearly in their element as Blaze looks to scramble. These quarterbacks do not want to take hits from Kajai Stokes, and with some of the hits he's given out this year, again, I don't blame them. Another interception. Defense with likely the clincher here with 1:20 to go. Another win for the Green Wave as we are now 5-2 on the season, 2-1 in American athletic play. We've done a good job of rebounding since the loss against Charlotte. And as I think about our 2 losses, what I now remember from those games is that we lost by a combined total of 3 points. So if we continue to make these games not that close, we're going to be in business. 7 tackles, 2 for a loss, first career sack, continuing to play well, and the coaching staff is rightfully catching on. Our next opponent has been lighting up defenses all year, so we've got to get the win and hold Tulsa to 45% on third down. A couple of my friends are throwing a party the night before the game. Well, here's the thing, Mackenzie. I've got to hold Tulsa to 45% on third down. We're going to get an NIL offer from the Renewal Wellness Center. Might as well take the deal, continue to add to the brand as we get another NIL opportunity. As we continue to play well, we're going to continue to get more companies interested as we are set to face off against the Golden Hurricane. I want to improve our coverage a little bit. I think we're doing a really good job as a blitzer. We just had the first sack. I think we're continuing to do a good job in run defense, but I want to improve in coverage. I want to make more plays around the ball and just do a consistently better job of not allowing catches, whether it's in zone or man coverage, especially man. I feel like we're a little bit more comfortable in zone right now as we get set for this next game against Tulsa. 5-2, our 8th game of the year. Freshman season flying by. Quarterback on the option. Stokes helps finish off the play, bringing him down. That's Robinson, who does get the first down. 3rd and 14 now, looking to throw it. Nowhere to go. He is sacked. This D-line, all of these guys can get to the quarterback. The boys up front, the fellas on the edge, and if they can use me in a few different ways, I feel like near the line of scrimmage, that just gives our pass rush a whole nother weapon. Another big hit there on the ball carrier, A.J. Allen, the transfer from Miami, who does get the first down there. 7-0 lead here. The offense is doing good enough as Stokes is there with another sack. Second in as many weeks. Again, finding the open seam off the blitz and take advantage. I think the boosts that we've given him to his athleticism have certainly helped a little bit. Offense appears to be having one of their better games. It's now 17-0 here in the first half. As I was saying earlier, I don't think we have some great offense, nice sack, but they're good enough. And obviously the identity of this football team comes on the defensive side of the ball, and it helps that we have a good run game. Dante Dowdell is having a nice season as we help with another tackle for loss. We pitched the shutout just a few weeks ago, and we could potentially be in business of doing it again. But obviously things got to hold up. We've got a whole nother half of football. But Tulsa barely has positive yardage. Another big hit. I think at this point in the game, they literally had like 0 yards of offense. I mean, it's kind of impressive. So the quarterback figures, why not let it fly? It's picked off. Another interception. Was I blocking the Tulsa player, or was I pushing down our guy? I guess we'll never know. It's my road to glory, not his. 17-0 still. The offense would not score off the takeaway. Trying to get a safety as I'm there with the tackle, but the running back was able to break away and not be tackled in the end zone. Tulsa's actually moving it down the field a little bit. They're finally getting some positive yardage, but it's all for nothing. Another takeaway. The defense playing even better than we did against the Memphis team that scored nothing on us. 20-0 with 2 minutes to go in the fourth. Nearing another shutout as it's tipped and caught. Stokes trying to get the tackle. They're not going to give him credit, even though he very clearly made the play. That brings us to the 2-minute warning. I like that they have us lining up on the edge. I want more snaps like this. Trying to win the rep against the tackle, we do. Quarterback throws it up, and it's incomplete. We were there with the pressure. We made a really nice swim move on the right tackle and nearly had our second sack of the game. 4th down, Tulsa's going to have to go for it as this one is caught. Big conversion for the Golden Hurricane. There is Stokes with the tackle. Nice throw by Jacoby Robinson, who only has 62 yards today. That one is caught up the middle. Where was this Tulsa offense the entire game? Landon Lucas has 68 yards. Up the middle, caught, nearing the end zone, but not quite. 2nd and goal with under a minute to go. Tulsa's getting very close. It's going to be a screen play, and A.J. Allen is in. Finally, a touchdown for Tulsa. I thought they were going to get shut out. They're in the end zone, but it's not going to matter. Another win for Tulane, 6-2, officially bowl eligible. Another phenomenal performance defensively. Now, their offense played a little bit better in the second half, but 0.5 yards per carry. They had like 0 yards in the first half. Jacoby Robinson was not very good. Neither was Caden Simonza, though. He only went 8 of 20. It's not going to matter when the defense is playing this well. 9 tackles, 3 for a loss, and a sack. Apparently, we let up a few too many 3rd downs, but the coaching staff overall is very pleased with how we're playing. He says that we're setting up a great example for the other players. Coach trust increase. Clearly, we're becoming a leader for these freshmen. Do you want me to swing by and pick you up for an 8 a.m. history lecture? I think we're going to risk it. I want to see what happens. We're riding a high. We have a momentum. So let's see what happens. We don't have to go to the exam. We are currently in the college football playoff. Ranked number 24, the highest ranked group of 5 school currently. So that means fate is currently in our own hands. We control our own destiny here with these final 4 games of the year. I'm going to improve our finesse and power moves. Seeing us line up on the edge and win some reps against those offensive linemen has me excited for how the defensive coordinator can potentially use us moving forward. As we're set to face off against the Navy midshipmen. Feels good seeing us in the college football playoff bracket, but we cannot let our guard down. Just because we know we control our own fate does not mean that this is some gimme. We've got to win our last 4 games, and we've got to win the conference title as well. Even if we lose 1 game, I don't think we're getting in. Now, of course, Navy has the funky triple option offense, so we kind of know what to expect in terms of these runs. We've made a couple of nice plays so far in run defense, and we already lead the game 14-0. Late in the first half. I don't have many tackles, though, as Navy's getting it very close to the end zone. Good throw by Braxton Woodson. And here we are with 9 seconds in the second quarter. Can Navy punch it in and make it a game going into halftime? Woodson under pressure. Tries to escape. He cannot. That's a sack. Navy's going to call time. I imagine they're just going to kick the field goal and make it 14-3. Another dominant stretch of football for us defensively. We'll see if we can keep it going here into the third. Woodson looks to throw it. He'll go short. Easy first down. Navy's getting something going here with the passing game. Who would have thought? Not necessarily their forte, but they're moving it nicely. Our coach trust grade is high, but Stokes has not done a whole lot today. He is an assisted tackle, maybe 1 solo tackle. We've got to get more involved. There you go. Another hit, and then we were immediately taken out of the game. 14-9 going into the 4th. Navy scored a touchdown, missed a 2-point conversion. So the midshipmen only down by 5 with the ball. They are certainly in it. We don't want to let our guard down. We see Boise State right behind us in these rankings as the next potential group of 5 team on the list. 3rd and 17 for Navy. One of the biggest plays of the season so far. Nearly there with the sack, but they complete the play, and they get the first down. What in the Kansas defense of playing behind the sticks is this? Navy scores a touchdown. They would miss the 2-point conversion, but our offense did nothing, and now we are down 15-14 with 3 minutes to go. Luckily, the defense makes a big play there on 3rd down, so we get the stop. Navy's probably going to kick the field goal. Offense, we need you. Our season might be on the line right here. We cannot afford to lose this game, and they don't do anything. Navy's going to get it back with 2 minutes to go and finish it off for good. Tulane, ranked and in the playoff bracket, loses to the Navy midshipmen. We were up 14-0 too, I believe, after the first quarter. But Navy puts up 18 in a row. The defense did not play all that well in the second half. And then the offense really let us down. My impact, 0s across the board. Is this the new Tony Snell graphic? I did not play well. Only 2 tackles. I didn't make any, super bad plays, but I just didn't do enough. Your government professor has sent me an email informing us that you did not show up to class. What a narc. Like, what professor does that? Like, I get that you're supposed to go to class, but it's an 8 a.m., bruh. And in a lecture hall that probably has, like, hundreds of people, why is the professor singling me out? Is he salty that I did not play well in our last game? Because if that's his reason, then honestly, that's kind of valid. I get it. But otherwise, why me? Mackenzie's talking to us again. This is the second time she's spoken with us. What does this mean? Do we have to riz her up? Usually asking if we want to cheat on the test is the start. I'm going to say no, because we already tried the risk last time and it didn't work out. Gamblers, you have to know when to stop gambling, which is exactly what we're doing here. Chef's Sporting Goods wants to talk to us. Sure, I'm in. Another NIL deal signed for Mr. Stokes. With 3 weeks to go, though, we're outside of the top 25. We now have 2 losses within the conference. Now, we can still make the conference championship, though. Navy and North Texas ahead of us, although keep in mind we beat North Texas earlier in the year. So we still technically control our own fate, at least in terms of making the conference championship. Doesn't necessarily mean that we're gonna, make the playoff. Now against 6-3 ECU in the backfield, sending pressure. Only 3 more regular season games to go. All 3, interestingly, are on the road, which is going to make things kind of weird. Looking to make a tackle there and run support, we do. That was not an easy play. It looks like the running back had the angle to the edge. But a good job there by Stokes to bring him down. We've had our worst games in the games that we've lost. I don't necessarily think that's a coincidence. When we play well, the team plays well. It's intercepted. ECU's been in the red zone twice. They only had 3 points to show for it. We've got a chance to house it. Unfortunately, not quite, but he brings it inside the 10. And we got a lot of Coach Trust points by making block attempts 30 yards behind the play. As it's now 10-3 late in the first half. Good play in coverage. Another interception. These guys in the secondary are making plays. They've gotten better and better as the year has gone along. I feel like we've let up less of the deep shots and we're getting more takeaways. Up the middle, if I was just there a second earlier, maybe could have had a chance to make a play on that ball. Under 5 minutes to go in the third, another great showing defensively. The Pirates looking to pass it. They're looking to go down the field just over my head. Another close one. If we were a second earlier, we would have made a play on the ball. Under 4 to go, another deep shot, and it is caught. I spoke too soon. We're allowing the big plays again. ECU would tie it, but we would take the lead with a field goal. I'm still not doing much, though, on the stat sheet. I have a couple of tackles. Hoping to get one here. We do. But I haven't really been able to get my fingerprint on this game. I don't even think they credited me with the last play, even though I clearly made it. Another long ball for Caton Hauser, and it's broken up. It was in his hands, but a good play late by the defense to jar it away. So East Carolina with 3:17 to go will elect to punt it, but they are going to get it back with another chance. 2:28 to go in the fourth, only trailing by 3. All they would need is a field goal to tie it. Looking to throw it. Oh, this is our chance. Oh, come on, make the tackle earlier. At least we partly made the play and are going to get credited for a TFL, but man, we could have gotten a way bigger hit there. 2-minute warning, 2nd and 13. That one is picked again. Another interception for the Tulane defense. These guys are making plays all day long. The offense has not given us enough support, though. This defense could have iced the game 2 quarters ago if this offense was somewhat serious, but they would only kick a field goal. They would only take a minute off the clock. ECU's got a minute here, but they have a 4th and 24. Hauser's going to have to get it out quick, and they get the first down. Are you kidding me? That cannot happen. 40 seconds to go. No timeouts for East Carolina. They'll get a short gain. Not going to be enough, though. So they're going to have to continue to go no huddle. Continue to push the pace now with 33 seconds to go. We'll see what the play is here. Short pass up the middle. Big hit. Good tackle. And they're going to have to keep it moving again. The clock will stay on once they get back to the line of scrimmage. Tick, 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 tick. There's 24 seconds left for ECU. It took about 5 or 6 seconds to snap the ball there as he goes deep for the end zone. No, incomplete. I thought they had a chance to make a play there. Down to 16 seconds now on second down. They're probably going to continue to go deep. Quarterback looks to scramble, does not want to take a hit from Stokes, and they might not get another playoff. There's 5 seconds. 4, 3. They're going to take us out of the game, but I don't think it's going to matter. ECU's not going to get another playoff. And Tulane hangs on for the win. 16-10 in yet another defensive battle where our defense comes out victorious. Although I feel like I'm on a little bit of a cold streak. The momentum I had a couple of weeks ago individually feels like it's gone. It wasn't horrible. 3 solo tackles, finishing with 5, 1 for a loss. You know, the film and television elective we're in together, the professor's giving us extra credit. We could use some extra credit. So I'm going to say yes. We're going to watch the movie with the kicker. Who knows? Maybe we'll snuggle under the sheets together or something. 1-9 Rice is on the schedule. We're back in the top 25. We're the second highest ranked group of 5 team, only behind Boise State. And we are top 2 currently in the conference, currently positioned for a rematch with Navy, who just beat us a couple of weeks ago, but we've still got to win these last 2 games. That starts on the road here with a Rice team that is not very good, but we cannot take them lightly. With 3 losses, we're certainly not in a great spot, but in terms of the group of 5 teams, we're second in command. If Boise State slips up, that could be our avenue to get back in the thick of things. Big hit there on the receiver, does get a nice play out of it. 2nd and inches now for the Owls, up the middle. Tackle for loss. Good play there by KJ, who's already looking better than what we saw over the last couple of weeks. Our offense isn't giving us a whole lot yet, though. We haven't scored up to this point, while Rice is charging down the field, nearing the red zone. Short pass caught. Stokes with another big hit. He's been busy so far. I think that's 3 tackles already. Rice would kick a field goal. They lead at 3-0. Can the offense, wake up maybe? Another assisted tackle, continuing to make plays early. Now it's 10-7. Both teams have touchdowns, and we forced the fumble. Another strip sack. The defense gets a takeaway. Offense, you guys got to score off of that as we bring out the turnover beads. We would get a field goal. I'll live with it. Knotted up at 10. Rice looking to take the lead. This is a team that we should take care of. They've got a young guy at quarterback. Obviously only 1 win on the schedule, but we're only up by 3. We beat the tight end and are in for another sack. I love seeing the versatility off the edge. We might be turning into a Micah Parsons type of role almost, although we're going to have to bulk up. 220 pounds is not going to be acceptable for that. But still, I like making these plays off the edge, getting some sacks into the 4th quarter. Defense gets the stop on 3rd down. I thought they were going to give us the assisted tackle. I guess not. But Rice is going to be able to kick a field goal, tie the game up at 13. Offense, we need you. These guys are 1-9. We cannot afford to lose this game. March down the field, score a touchdown. Love to see it. With that, it's now 20-13. 3:15 to play. Rice needs a touchdown to tie up the middle. Not a great play there in zone coverage. At least we got the tackle, though. Could have been worse, I guess, but not our best coverage rep. Under 3 minutes to go following the first down. They'll go back to the air. Patrick Creighton scrambles around. Another nice play up the middle. A big hit. Oh, he broke the tackle. Gotta finish off the play. We've done a better job in terms of tackling and play finishing. Couldn't do it there. We do this time. 5th catch of the game for Landon Ransom Goals. So Rice didn't score, but they immediately got to stop defensively, and they'll get the ball back with 1:20. On the blitz, a 2nd sack for Stokes. Really, really good play there. Continuing to improve around the line of scrimmage, looking for a 3rd sack. Not going to happen. Creighton with a big-time throw goes for a 1st down. They ended up taking us out of the game the rest of the way. I don't know why. We ended up playing pretty well. But the defense hangs on for the win. I wish we could have beaten these guys by more than 7. You know, if we want a chance at making the playoff, we should probably beat now 1-10 Rice by more than a touchdown, but beggars can't be choosers. 9 tackles, 3 for a loss, 2 sacks. Really good game, especially after a couple of duds. Nice to see Kajai Stokes playing well. We are now ranked number 22, still the 2nd highest ranked group of 5 team with 1 game to go here in the regular season. We're headed to Raymond James Stadium, home of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, as we face off against the University of South Florida. Tampa's in Central Florida, though. Why does South Florida play in Tampa? Wouldn't it make sense if Central Florida played there? I don't know. Maybe I'm just spitballing. Defense gets the safety, so we lead 2-0. That's pretty cool. Already on the board early, giving the offense some help. They would kick a field goal. That'll make it 5-0. As Anderson looks to throw it. That one is caught. Not going to get him a whole lot. Look at the bottom. Number 21, Boise State won. So unless we blow these guys out, they'll probably still be ahead of us going into conference championship week, but not by much. They're only up by a spot. There's a big hit on the running back, Michael Allen. Into the second quarter, still leading 5-0. What a peculiar score. It would be funny if, nobody scored the rest of the way. We win 5-0. That'd be a bad look for the offense. Good tackle there, though. Now on third down, Anderson under pressure, hit as he throws. Kajai Stokes in the backfield sending pressure. This defensive coordinator really has figured out how to use us. I love the coaching staff. I love our teammates here. This is a really good program that I can see us sticking around at. As that one is broken up. If only we were a little bit more to the left, maybe we could have made a play on that ball. Still looking for career interception number 1. Late in the first half, in the end zone. South Florida takes the lead. The Bulls make it 7-5. That'll bring us into the second half. Our offense has nearly the same amount of points as the defense. Here's a chance at a big hit. We missed the tackle. I guess they're going to give us the assisted tackle, even though they really shouldn't. That feels like a pity play. I got maybe a hand on him. Good hit, good pressure, but that might have been a late hit and a late pressure. Roughing the passer against Kajai Stokes. I feel like I've had some later hits than that, though. So I feel like the consistency from the officials is a little bit odd there. I felt like I could do that because they haven't been calling me on those. Nice juke move. Good tackle, though, by Stokes. South Florida is moving it down the field pretty well, though. These guys are fighting for their bowl lives. For many of these seniors, it could be their last game. They don't want it to be. Another good assisted tackle. I would say my performance today has been very adequate so far. It hasn't been bad, hasn't necessarily been good. Here's our chance to make a play. Oh, we completely missed! And the running back walks into the end zone for a touchdown. That is a really bad play. No way around it. We got a little bit too aggressive. We wanted to get the big hit, wanted to force a TFL. Luckily, the offense would respond, though. Still only a 2-point game. South Florida incomplete on the screen. Defense gets the stop. Our offense has a chance now to potentially take the lead. Big drive, probably our biggest of the year so far, and the offense comes up big. 19-14, just starting the fourth quarter. Nice play defensively. That'll make it a fourth down, and the defense is right off the field. Ever since, largely I allowed the touchdown, we've been playing really well on both sides of the ball. We don't score there, though, and USF will get it back with a little under 5 minutes to go. Trailing by 5. Defense, we need you here. It's a read option. Stokes sees it coming from a mile away. Brains down the quarterback. Another extremely impressive hit. Boom! Goes flying to the ground. Now with just around 4 minutes to go, 3rd and long on the blitz. It's a screen. You're not going to get much. Michael Allen there with the play, and they're going to have to punt it. Offense has a chance to choose some clock, potentially finish off the game with another score, preferably a touchdown. And we don't. And we didn't chew much clock either, maybe a minute. South Florida gets it back with good field position. Nice play there by KJ. Clock is moving. Around 2 minutes to go. We can clinch a spot in the conference championship with a win. Up the middle, another big hit. Wow, what a play by KJ. Minute 40 now. The defense with a great play at the line. Allen has 10 carries for 8 yards. 4th and 4. South Florida moving as quick as they can, trying to throw off the defense in any way possible, but we're ready for this. Anderson scrambles around under pressure. It's incomplete. Tulane gets the stop, and we'll see if the offense can slam the door for good. With South Florida holding one timeout in a minute 26, they really don't have much of a chance. And sure enough, we finish off the job 19-14. It was not pretty, but we will finish the regular season 9-3. We are going to the conference championship, and if we win, maybe we get in the playoff. We might need some help in the Mountain West. Team high 8 tackles, 2 for a loss for Kajai Stokes. Very solid game as that gets us set for the American Athletic Championship. Who will it be against? It's going to be North Texas, a team we've already played against and beat earlier in the year. We're number 19. They're number 23. So both teams have playoff implications. Boise State still holds the 12 seed, though. They are currently number 18, playing against 9-3 San Diego State. That's not an easy game by any stretch. We certainly could use a good performance from the Aztecs. Your finals results are in, all Bs. We did a lot of studying during the bye week, and it paid off. So the advisor did say that we have a couple more things to finish up in class, but like, lady, we have a chance to make the college football playoff. I've got bigger things to worry about. One more game at home. Here is a freshman against the Mean Green of North Texas. We beat them here at home towards the middle of the season, and we'll get another crack at them. If we win and Boise State loses, we would presumably get that final seed. Nearly with a safety there, Jean-Claude Joseph III. Looking to make a play in the end zone. We got him! Another safety for the Tulane defense. And we lead the game 2-0 to start. So the defense comes up big early, like last week with the first points. North Texas has it back, run up the middle, solid play. Stokes helps finish it off. Look at the bottom of the screen real quick. The Boise State game already wrapped up, and they won kind of comfortably, 41-23. That's not great. I think the door is still open for us, but we've got to win this game big against North Texas. Good tackle there. We need to continue to play well defensively, which we are, but we're also going to need the offense to really produce. It's a two-sided operation. With Boise State winning by 18 points, they're already ahead of us. They have one less loss than us. We really have to make a statement this week to the committee. Otherwise, we're not going to get the spot. I think a 10, even a 17-point win, that's not going to be enough. Big takeaway there early in the second quarter. North Texas actually leads it now, 7-5. Luckily, the offense took advantage of the takeaway with a touchdown, making it 12-7 late in the first half. Stokes has been solid. He's made a couple nice plays so far. There's a good tackle in run defense. Terrell Washington gets a few. Now a 2nd and 1 into the third. Same score. Defense is playing quite well. The offense is giving us enough. We're up by 5. Say we won by 10. That's not going to be enough, though, I don't think. With Boise State winning by 18. I feel like we've got to win really by 4 scores to get the spot. The one thing we would really have going for us is that North Texas is ranked. Good sack there by Stokes. So potentially adding a ranked win on the resume could be a boost. But North Texas is not that much better than San Diego State. The Aztecs are also 9-3. Still 12-7. Stokes with the hit. But North Texas gets the first down. They're pushing down the field now with a chance to take the lead late in the third. Stokes lining up as an edge. Under some pressure with the spin, and it does not matter. The Mean Green into the end zone with a touchdown to take the lead. Not ideal whatsoever. Now they're going to go for 2, trying to make it a 3-point game. Stokes lining up close to the line of scrimmage. Will match up with the running back, and the quarterback is sacked. So at least we get a stop to finish off the drive, but we are losing. If we want to win by 3 scores, we cannot trail going into the fourth, but that's exactly where we're at. 13-12, 30 seconds to go. Up the middle, short pass. Not enough for the first down. Stokes there to help out. Possibly the final play of the quarter. They are not going to get it. Stokes with the TFL amongst others. Defense gets the stop to end the third. Down by 1, going into the fourth. Season on the line for both of these teams. And the offense would score 8. Touchdown and a 2-point conversion to take the lead. 5:20 to go. Under pressure. In the backfield, another sack for Kajai Stokes. Second of the game doing push-ups on the turf. Stokes is really heating up here in the second half. In the biggest game of our collegiate career, we are coming up big. Under 5 to go. On the scramble, Stokes a little more conservative with the tackle angle. And the quarterback has to slide well shy of the first down marker. We get the stop. Let's make it a 2-score game here. No mercy on these guys. We need to win this game by 30 points, not by 7. Not great. We didn't score and we didn't take much time off the clock. As a defense, we can only control what we can control. We can't worry about the offense. We've just got to do our job. Another tackle by Stokes, who's had one of his best halves of the season in our most important half. Under pressure, incomplete. Stokes with some pressure on third down. It looks like North Texas is going to punt it away. Can the offense chew some clock for 3 minutes? They haven't shown us throughout the course of the year that they can chew clock for that long. but they do here. We win the game 20-13, American Athletic champions, and now our fate lies in the hands of the committee. I don't think we're going to get a spot, but it is possible. Boise State was ranked ahead of us going into the week. They have one less loss, and they won by more. What we have going for us is that we beat a ranked team in North Texas. 10 tackles, 3 for a loss, 2 sacks. One of our best statistical games of the year, really filling up the stat sheet. I don't think we're going to win the game's MVP, though. Dante Dowdell, 122 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was terrific. Coach Trust continuing to soar up for a freshman. It's clear that this staff has a lot of belief in us. American Athletic Conference champions. Let's simulate the week. Let's hope for some good news. Kajai Stokes does win the American Defensive Player of the Week. I was expecting to win that, so that's good to see. Deuce Knight, the freshman, 48 touchdowns at Tennessee. He takes home the Heisman Trophy. Kajai Stokes, second-team All-American. Hello. That's a surprise, but we will take it. Freshman All-American, makes sense. Freshman All-American, I would assume, for the conference. As for the bowl game, we are in the playoff. We're going to Tennessee. We're going to Old Rocky Top as the 12 seed. So they pushed us above Boise State. I am really surprised by that. Even though they were ranked ahead of us and played better than us going into conference championship week, they're going to give us a spot. I don't see us on the national second team, though. Did they mean the American second team? Yeah, they meant the conference second team. That's so lame. I thought we made the all-NCAA second team. We are on the all-freshman team for the national and in conference. And look at all these Tennessee guys on the all-NCAA first team, including the Heisman winner, Deuce Knight, the second-place Heisman finisher, Mike Matthews. Oh boy, we are in for a tough one here in the playoff, which will be in the next episode. Kajai Stokes' first career playoff game, hopefully multiple playoff games, and we're also going to go through the entirety of his sophomore season. Make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new for more EA College Football 26. Peace out.